Welcome back. Do you like that one? Do you like that intro?
Nailed it.
How's your week, George?
Mine? It's fine. Yeah, nothing really exciting.
No?
No.
Oh.
How about yours?
We'll get right into it. Just kidding. Mom Vent Corner?
Sure.
We don't even have to call it Mom Vent Corner. It can have some different name.
Its own different name?
Its own name that's different than Mom Vent Corner.
You gonna change it?
No, I kind of like this.
Right.
I love the MVC.
Yeah, if it was named something else, then I would have to participate in it.
You do participate in it.
Not really.
Kind of. Well, a few things this week.
Yes, ma'am.
So Madeline's in cheer,
Hmm.
and it's hot out. 2-hour practices. It's rough. So every day before we go to practice, I ask, "Do you have your water?" She says yes. And you're herding cats to get the kids in the car for practice, and we're driving to practice, almost there.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at her, and she takes her water bottle out of her bag. And it's not the big one. It's not a big enough one, in my opinion. She needs the big water. And I was like, "Madeline, is that enough water?" And she said, "Yeah, Mom. I added a Capri Sun for the electrolytes."
That is phenomenal. Phenomenal. She wants to make sure she's hydrated and gets her electrolytes in.
I allowed it.
Of
I
course
didn't
you
turn
did.
around to go get new water. I was just like, "Yeah, that's going to suck." I just looked at her and I said, "Don't do that again. Water only."
Now, had that been Matthew or McKenna?
I would have turned back around.
100%. 100%.
I was thinking about this morning, actually, that the third kid was my threshold kid. And I know, I kind of created this in my own head.
Oh, good, because I was confused.
I'll explain. So the type of mom I was with 2 children, I could, for me, I think it's different for every person. For me, with 2, very controlled, very regimented, I had it on lock. Once that third kid came, I let so much go. I had to, or I was going to lose my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And the other kids had to adjust, make their own lunches for school, and they had to do a lot more that I would normally do for them because I had reached my moment. I'm done. Nope. I 3 I'm not only maxed out, but I'm I'll allow it. So that is for me. That is my threshold. I think some people can have 4, 5, 7 kids and not even meet their threshold. I bow to you. Not for me.
We saw that 4th of July weekend. When the family came into town.
Oh, yes.
Desi's threshold is much higher.
Much higher than mine. She is phenomenal.
And she's just cool, calm, cool, collective the whole
really
time.
Is.
Yeah.
And wants another one.
Right.
And I'm so they have 4 now. No.
5.
5 now.
Yeah, 5.
And want one more.
Yeah.
And I'm more power to you, girl.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, I think that would be amazing for us.
See what?
I do love the part of I love my kids.
Right.
And having them around.
The ones you have.
If I lived on a farm or something, and we'd be
No.
send them out to milk the cow. You'd need staff. No?
You just went with you literally just went from my threshold is 3
No, you're right.
to now you have 6 kids and cows and a farm.
No, that's a good point.
How am I
Good point. Okay, no, really, that is my threshold. I'm that's it.
Yeah. It's okay if others have a higher or greater threshold than
Of
us.
course it is.
I didn't feel like it was.
That's not what I meant. I do like the oh, they're all running around, they're so cute.
Yes.
But
Well,
they get to go home, and I
Yeah.
don't have to, they don't affect my threshold. So you're right. It's different.
Yeah.
My threshold,
3.
firm.
Right.
3.
Right. It's a hard stop.
Stop. And there's days. I'm like, oh man.
But also, when the other two were that age or younger, your health was different too. So I think that plays a big part
Well,
into
also
it.
true,
Yeah.
but I mean, even before I got hurt and all of that, like I knew, like, oh, nope, you're letting it go.
Yeah.
I knew that when she came, the youngest
That,
came.
that was it.
That one, yeah. No, yeah, I was like, oh, nope, this is it. It's great.
All right, perfect. What are we talking about today?
Oh.
I mean, it's a great weekly update. I mean,
I wasn't even done with my weekly update.
oh snap!
I
Okay.
know.
All right, back to it.
I had a little bit. I had a little
Okay.
bit of things.
All right.
We got a puppy a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday I went outside and my lemon tree was dug up, like on its side, like as if it was a big stick.
Well, it is
Yeah.
to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So be warned. I don't
Oh.
know that puppies are always a great idea.
I don't think you need to throw a warning out there for that. It's pretty obvious. They tear shit up for 3 years, then they don't move for the rest of their life.
I forgot.
Wow. You should have spent some more time with Chat. He would have helped you work through it.
Maybe I should have asked Chat about puppies. Maybe
Yeah.
Chat would have discouraged it. Anyway, yes. So we are going to talk about generational curses today.
Okay.
Bum, bum, bum. Okay, so what is your definition? Like when I say generational curse, what does it mean to you?
Something that's passed down from another generation that...
Right. Same. I just didn't know if it would be...
Do you catch that? I can't even finish a sentence. Literally couldn't finish a sentence. Like, enough said out of you, sir? Thank you.
Thanks for proving my point. Next.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Glad I'm here. Go ahead. No, it's awkward silence now. And I think sometimes with generational curses, we don't even know that they're curses. That's how I was going to finish that. It's just the norm of what we see passed down. So that was it. Thank you for letting me finish my thought.
Sorry. Anyway, yes, I agree with you. And I think a lot of times you don't realize that that's what it is, like a generational curse. I think drawing attention to it and kind of reflecting on your family, like your legacy, all of that is important because, and I think our generation specifically is really good about acknowledging that generational curses are a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think because of it's so different from how we grew up and then how it is now. And that's my opinion. I think that, but I could be wrong. It's happened. But I wanted to talk kind of about our generational curses and kind of lay it out there. I mean, we don't have to do all of them.
It'll be a long episode.
But just kind of like, people aren't alone in them.
Right.
You know, like they're very common. I think everyone has them. Like no person is perfect. No family is perfect. And there are things that you would want to acknowledge and change. Or even a moment where you're like, oh my gosh, I sound like my mom or I sound like my dad. And it like annoys you. I feel like that can even be a generational curse.
Unless you're the guy in the Progressive commercial. Then it's fine to sound like your dad.
That's because you have so many moments like that.
So many. Yes.
I had to tell you at the car dealership, like, he doesn't care.
Hey.
He started telling the car salesman, what are you even talking about?
I didn't say anything. I had to show him my license to test drive the car. And he said, wow, I had to do a double take. You've lost a lot of weight since you took this picture for your license.
That's right.
I said nothing.
Oh, no.
I didn't start the conversation.
There you go. You didn't start the conversation. He went on to talk about macros, his workout schedule, how much protein he needs. He didn't ask. It was just like a compliment because he wants us to buy the car.
Okay, true. That's 100% true. He did want us to buy the car. One, we knew we were buying the car before we even went there. So
he doesn't know that.
That's true too. But also, to be fair, okay? take me back 3 years. Maybe if somebody would have shared that with me at that time, it would have made a difference or an impact on me. So I wanted to pay it forward to somebody else who may or may not need it at the time or may not want to hear it, but it's just, you just plant the seeds. It wasn't an awkward conversation by any means. I didn't think it was an awkward conversation. It was like 30 seconds. Then we moved on to the car.
McKenna and I were we were dying in the car, listening. Like no one asked. It was a long. It was
I should have just said, "You're right. Thank you." End of story. Right?
End of story.
But that's not how my brain works. My brain is like, "Oh, now you want to hear a story from me," and then I tell you a story, which is why people like to talk to me, because I tell them lots of good stories. That's what I tell myself anyway.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
Back to generational curses. I mean, if you like that, I don't know that I would consider that a generational curse. Because that is very much like your father. But I don't think that's like a bad thing. Like that's...
No, and there's a difference between like a generational curse and just a characteristic, right?
Right. That's
or
like
a trait that you get, right? You know, because I am my father.
You really are.
Yeah, no, it's 100, and I'm okay with it. Like, he's awesome.
Yes, and the older you get, I notice
the more and more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to say that about me,
Who? Which parent?
it doesn't matter.
Noted.
I will lock myself into an insane asylum.
Which would pretty much be par for the course. Just kidding. All right, that was mean. I apologize. I apologize.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry. What is some generational curses that you feel like, right, you can go back a few generations on either side, and just to kind of, let's talk about a couple.
I think one that jumps out to me would be like a misogynistic side of my family. Not necessarily in a real bad way, but it's kind of like the roles that we've talked about in the past, right? Mm-hmm. This is how the home is structured. And the world has changed so much, even from 2 generations ago, right? The roles of husband, wife, mother nurturer, father provider, right? Even indoor, outdoor, all of that has really changed in most houses, in most households, right? That would be one. Alcohol would be a big one, right? For us, like I'm double-barreled on that thing, so I have to be very careful with it, very aware of it. Maybe I need to explain double-barreled because that was a weird term I just used, but it comes from my mom's side and my dad's side, right? So being aware of that. And when I was younger, I wasn't aware of it and didn't really care and drank a lot more. Now it's a rare occasion. Doesn't really fit into my macros anymore. But I do tell people that, right? Like if they're, oh, have a beer with us, have a drink. I'm like, it just doesn't fit what I do now. Yeah. But if I'm going to have a beer or a drink, I'm going to have a good beer. Like I'm going to enjoy it. Mm-hmm. I don't punish myself for it or anything like that. I will enjoy it. But just being super aware and being vigilant on, at a moment's notice in an event that we're at or out doing something as a family, I can have a 5-minute warning of like, hey, I'm done. I need to go home, right? That has happened.
That's me.
Yeah, and that's not a detriment to you. That's not your fault. That's just the evolution of what has been going on, right? So I always am aware of that, and I've told the people that I hang out with, like I can't. I have to be ready to go because it could be at a moment's notice where her body is just saying, no, I'm done. I need to get home, and so that obviously helps it, but also a lot of things in my past or in our family's history were centered around alcohol. right? So trying to teach our kids that it doesn't have to be the focal point. Maybe that's why I started barbecuing more, right? Like, let's focus around food instead of alcohol. Maybe that was a subconscious thing that happened to me. But it just allows us to have a different focus because our kids are a mix of both of us, right? Which comes, your side comes with some of that, my side comes with that. So then you put that together and you're really setting them up to just continue that trend, right? So we've made conscious decisions on certain areas where it's like the curse stops here. And it's not always comfortable, it's not always easy. And that's kind of on the lighter end of it, I think. There's more serious things that we've changed, but I think that's a big one for us. And what it does to you, right? To your body, it doesn't respond well. So then you just drink alone at that point. Like, it's not as enjoyable to partake at that point. So that's probably a big one for me.
Yeah, well, I have that also. Addiction, I think in general, addiction is very strong in my family, both sides. Double barreled.
It's a good term.
That was an interesting term. And that is something that I've been very conscious of my entire life, even before kids. Do you think that our kids, changed your viewpoint on alcohol in general? Is that what you think changed it? Or do you feel like that was, because you said when you were younger you didn't really...
Well, when you're young, dumb, and naive, right? You don't think these things can be an issue. And alcohol never really was like a big issue, but I never wanted it to be an issue. There's areas of addiction that my kids did help me with, right? When you told me I couldn't come home from the hospital if I was still smoking with Matthew, so
That did happen.
I just was like, damn it, that's gonna suck. So I just smoked all the cigarettes I had before he came out in the parking lot and then came home. But there's other addictions too, right? That it's like, I don't want my kids to be a part of this or to see this, right? So yeah, I think, kids play a big role, I think, in a lot of areas of helping you mature and grow, and then being aware of the decision you're making and the consequences that they're going to pay for the decision that you're about to make. So they do play a big role.
I agree. My addiction legacy, whatever that was, generational curse of addiction, I've always been very aware of. Like, I didn't want any part of it. And I think that is one that I successfully broke from my side. I do not feel like I struggle with addiction to anything, and I don't want to be reliant on anything, basically. I don't know how else to explain it. Medicine, obviously drugs, alcohol, anything like that. And you do worry about your kids. Like, it's important for them to know where you came from and what it's done, like, to, it's destroyed families and people and changed people. And once they hit a certain age, I'm very honest with them about my family in particular, because I want them to see what it's done. And I hope it impacts them to where, I'm not messing with that. And that's really the only goal I have with that. It's not to draw light or attention to my backstory. It's just like, listen, this is real.
Yeah.
And I'd rather you be aware and conscious in your choices, because, it only takes once, and, you can become addicted. And I see addictive tendencies sometimes in the kids. I think mostly our middle one. And I kind of like that worry pops in, like, okay, we have to have a conversation about this, or, just because it makes you feel better doesn't mean that it's a good choice.
Right.
Like, she was in that car accident, and, like, very low dose muscle relaxers for her whiplash, but it was just like, oh, these are amazing. I can sleep. And I'm like, but do you have muscle pain? You have to take it because you're in pain, not because you need to sleep. And explaining that, and I could be over the top though and paranoid because, again, like trying to break all of those curses. You know, but there is things that the kids really having them and me not wanting to pass things down, like temper and breathing through anger, and you know, instead of reacting and saying things that I don't mean, or like working on that, because you know, everything was hair trigger reaction in my family to, like, you would go 0 to 60, and that is something I did not want to happen, like anger wise.
No, I understand. It's just a weird number. You use 60, like.
Isn't that what the term is?
I would use 100, but.
Oh.
0 to 60 is like a car.
It is, like, I think that's the reference.
But it goes beyond. Anyway, it just talks about how fast it gets up to that speed limit, like 0 to 100. Yeah, it'd be like 0 to 100 real quick. But anyway, that's just me. That was just
I'm looking that up later.
My dad brain kicked in.
Anyway, so the point is, I like, those are things that the kids have really, like, okay, breathe through this. Don't do that. And I don't need to react right away. Which sometimes.
Now we're gonna be real, yeah.
Certain children really push.
All of them.
They do, but lately it's been some, and I'm like, have to breathe, or I vent to you first, and I like explode, and then I can breathe and deal with them.
Which is a ton of fun. It's a great spot to be in.
Do you want to be my best friend, or do you not?
Oh, I do. 100%. I want to be your best friend. Yes.
Then you have to listen.
I do listen. All the time.
And not judge.
I don't judge.
Lies. Anyway.
I think that you do a good job, by the way, to be fair here, with seeing it from a child's perspective growing up, and then getting rid of it as an adult. Like, I think it's a really, really strong skill set you have. You even did that when we were dating, right? Before we even had kids. Like, and especially like anger, Jack Daniels. There's like very specific moments where you were like, that's not happening. If you're going to be in my life, that's not allowed. And I think you, before you maybe even realized it, right? Because you picked the path at a young age, I believe, of I'm either going to be it or I'm going to be the opposite of it.
Right.
And you picked the opposite at a young age. So then when we started dating, I was nowhere near making those kind of grown-up choices, right? But you had to really lay your foot down and say, this is how I'm doing things. This is how things are going to be done in my life. If you want to be in my life, then this is the way it's going to be done. And it really changed me quickly, right? Because you start to see, okay, well, that would suck if she left. Like, that would really suck. So let me just get rid of that. But and then you transition as we started having kids, you would see things in me still where it was like, the way you just snapped, the way you just let it out right there, like, you reminded me of XYZ as a kid, right? You'd use those references of like, this is how the child feels when you do that. So probably let's not do that anymore. Or you have to leave. I always was about to get kicked out all the time.
I was going to say, you make me sound really nice. I'm sure I was a hot mess trying to tell you that this isn't that's not going to.
Yeah, but it did take you a while to do it, to be like, to find a way to get it across to me so I could understand it, right? And then it took me a while to accept it, right? Because I'm like, who are you challenging me in the way I'm raising my kids or the way I'm parenting? Like, I am the man, the head of the household here, and this is how you do things, right? But you have to really buy into that, okay, we're not passing these things onto our kids. Full disclaimer, we're probably didn't bat 1,000 in that realm, right? But it was a conscious decision and effort not to. And so as the kids got older and we got more mature, you found a way to communicate it. I found a way to internalize it without attacking my ego, and then in turn becoming a better parent, right?
Right.
So, and it's gone both ways, right? With both of us. So I think you were way ahead of the scale on that one with me. A lot further along in that decision than I was. I probably didn't even know what generational curses were until you were like, these are the things I want to focus on and not pass on to our kids because of my history, your family history, right? We want these things to break with us. And even with relationships, right? Learning that the boundary of a relationship is okay. Being on our side of the fence is okay. Loving people on the other side of the fence is okay. But having the fence is important, right? And it's okay to be over here. And so I think that's another one that we have really attacked together and come a long way with setting those boundaries and things like that. So those are just a few.
Preview for the next episode.
My bad.
No, it's okay. Show people.
But I think, but it's also part of the generational curse where not everything is acceptable.
Yes.
Right? And you don't have to always take it and accept it. And you can't have a voice and you can't say, that's not cool. Right?
Right. What you allow. No, for sure. It's so hard. Parenting is hard. Setting these standards are hard. Breaking generational curses are hard. And even though I do think we are more aware of them than in previous generations, I don't even know that we see them all that exist. And even though I know that we have worked really hard on eradicating many in our life and our family, you could ask our son and he would be like,
that poor child. Yeah, it's so rough.
Yo, he, the Marine, he's, like, woe is me, my childhood was so hard, like as if we beat him every day of his life, and I don't know. I remember driving around in my car with a wooden spoon in my center console. I did. I had 2 young kids, like closer in age, and they would fight and all of that. I know for a fact I never used that damn wooden spoon, but I threatened it.
As you should.
But I never used it. But if you ask him, he would swear I beat the crap out of him every day.
Getting in and out of that car. Yep.
That kid, you were so spoiled. You didn't get out of my bed until you were 3.
Yeah, that fool had a bed in my room.
Yeah, he was the cuddliest mama's boy that you ever met, but he acts the way, sometimes his viewpoint. So what I'm trying to say is, even when you probably coddle and, not that we weren't having high expectations for him, but even with trying to eradicate things in your family and your kid's viewpoint of how you did won't always live up to what you tried to do. That's what I'm trying to say. So, don't be too hard on yourself.
I think that when they are grown, they come back to the realization of all right, one, that wasn't that bad. 2, my parents actually did some pretty good things to me because now I'm seeing it come to fruition in my own life.
Yes.
And I'm in a scenario that they actually explained to me what happened and
Yes.
And so, but we all do that.
It has started, but
Yeah.
Yes, I think once they grow up and figure things out.
I'm interested to hear from other people on this.
Oh.
Right?
Yes.
I'm interested to hear generational curses that they've broken or that they've tried to break or that they're battling, right? Or, wow, I didn't even know that was a thing. Here's some areas I'm going to work on now.
Yeah.
Right? Because these things don't just go away on their own.
No.
Right? And it's kind of the concept of really why we started doing this is to share these things and have almost an open forum or a place for people to be like, yeah, I can relate to that. Or, man, I didn't realize that was something that was around me, and now I can address it. And so we're just not really scared to talk about it. And I think the more conversations and the more open that you are with people, the better people become, because they realize,
Agree.
holy shit, we're all in this thing together, right?
And it's not easy.
And it's not easy, right? And so
Especially being vulnerable, right?
yeah,
Getting it all out there.
yeah, 100%. So I'm interested. I would love some feedback, some comments on kind of those things I touched on. If you're going through it, went through it, want to go through it, don't ask how to go through it, because
Don't create generational curses. He means breaking them.
what did I say?
Just the way that you said we're talking about it sounds like, if you want to like throw one in there.
All right, whatever. I felt like I was perfectly fine in that sentence, but that's fine. We'd love to hear it. We'd love to hear from people out there. So, anything else on this?
No,
That's it.
you nailed it. Thank you.
Oh, I nailed it.
Nailed it.
Chalk went up for me. As always, we appreciate you guys. Leave us a review. Please comment, like, and subscribe if you are on YouTube. And as always, we will catch you guys on the next one.